Okay, so another day of racing. We are in Sacramento. This is the Landpark Criterium. The day before the Bariani Road Race, and beautiful Saturday afternoon, low 70s, typical California spring day. Um, Coming into the last few laps here. Same course that we raced on a couple weeks ago in the Cal Aggie race. I'm not sure if it's put on by a different promoter or not, but it's put on by the same crew that puts on the Bariani Road Race, I believe. So this is the 40 plus mixed in with the 30 plus. Pretty good sized field. It was a pretty fast race. I think we averaged almost 27 miles an hour, which with the little chicane turn in the back, which tends to slow things down, that's actually pretty fast. I didn't race the 50 plus earlier, so I actually came into this race with fresh legs, which was kind of nice. There were quite a few brake attempts, but nothing was sticking, and just kind of had the feeling that with the amount of talent and horsepower in this field that it was going to come down to a sprint. So on the back side of the course here is usually where I would move up, and I usually found it pretty easy to move up here rather than the other side when everybody was going full gas into the headwind. That's Pete Morris in front of me. He's AKA Thor. He's one of the Cliff Bar riders. They don't have their new kits yet, so they're all kind of riding different kits, but that's pretty much the same team. He's always a good wheel to follow. There's Blake Anton right in front of me. He I think it's his first year being able to race as a master, being the 30 plus. The first year we've had 30 plus races. There's Melanie Wong. Melanie's jumped in with us. She raced really well. She's on the Wolfpack Pro Women's team. She's one of our stronger NorCal riders. She likes to jump in and bang with the boys every now and then, and she usually holds her own really well. There's another girl that jumped in with us. She pulled out of her pedal, and she was able to get back in, I think. The wind was kind of coming from our right hand side, so a right to left wind here, and now we're turning into a headwind. So this is the finish. So this is the last turn, and then the road kind of curves to the finish. So it kind of does like a little curve to the left, and it kind of affected how on the last lap how things kind of went, because people were just all over the place. There was some going right, some going left. Well, you'll see in the spread. I want to say there was 3 laps to go here. I think I started recording. There's Dean LaBerge. Dean and I have been sprinting against each other for quite a few years. He's starting to get his form back. It's good to see him. I didn't see him all last year at all. I didn't know if he raced at all, but he's definitely making a comeback with the Pete's Coffee team. They always race well together. here's the part of the hairpin chicane in the back. It's kind of a sharp, I want to say it's like 120-degree turn, and then here's another a little bit more than 90 into a 90, kind of a sweeper. This one's a lot easier. You can like get on the gas and just take pedal through the turn pretty full gas. Same here. Then you got like a little bit of a riser right here. This is where I found it a good place to move up to, because it always bunched up right here. I was just trying to figure out if any of these teams were going to do a lead out, and if so, who they were going to be leading out. Because sometimes it's you can kind of read a race and you can get a feel for what's going on. You can kind of see what's happening. You jump on the right wheel, or you at least jump on the right train, and it'll help set you up for the finish. It's a really long sprint too into a headwind, so you could come out of the turn and even 10th wheel and still have a chance to win. I think I was a little further back than that. The guy that won this race outright was a 30 plus. His name was Brian Cortez. He's on the Vela Kings team. I believe he was a Cat 4 last year or the year before. But yeah, he came by in a seated sprint on the left-hand side and just blew by everybody. You'll see in the finish how fast he comes by. Brian Zimney posted a video. If you haven't seen his channel, check out his channel and watch his video of this finish. And then Mark Tucker also. Yeah, I just want to move up to the front here a little bit more. Mark Tucker posted his video too, and there's some interesting views from the two different riders' perspectives. And there was a little bit of a hairy move by Mike Sayers on the last lap where he kind of went from the middle of the field and just kind of swerved left, and just it caused everybody to kind of check up and hit their brakes. From my vantage point, I was a little bit behind him, but you could see the field swoop to the left. There's Michael Claudio. He won the 40 plus in Landpark. He got in a break with Mark Tucker. Mark Tucker's in this race too, but yeah, no breakaways were getting away today. There's Hayden from Make-A-Wish. He's their Aussie teammate. Yeah, so things are starting to get a little bit... Gets a little bit hairball on the last lap of this race. I think there's 2 laps to go here. I think there was a little bit of a mix-up with the lap cards, because I could have swore I came by and saw 2 to go, and then when we came by there was still 2 to go. So I don't know if somebody messed up the lap cards. I think I got a smudge mark on my camera. I apologize. Either that or somebody's sweat drop got on there. Guy in the green that just went by on the right hand side up the curb there, his name is Paul Boursier. He's a guest rider from Oregon. He's always a player in the national championships and the road race and the time trial and the crit. He's just a strong all-around rider. He got, I believe, 3rd place in this race, and he got 3rd place today. I'm recording this a day later. He also got 3rd place in the Bariani road race in the 40 plus. So we're moving right now, 33 miles an hour on the backstretch. Obviously this was the tailwind section, but somebody's drilling it. I know that on the last lap I kind of want to be at least in the top 10 going through this chicane. Yeah, there's Brian Cortez right there in the red helmet. Mark Tucker's team. Good little rider. I didn't realize he's just must be a natural. He looks like he's been racing fast crits like this forever. I'm a little bit far back, but I have really good legs today because I didn't do the 50 plus earlier, so I was pretty fresh. It's kind of nice to have that feeling. Ooh, that was a little sketchy. This is the same corner that Jeff Linder crashed on in Landpark. He came around that corner and touched wheels and flipped over and broke his pelvis and his collarbone. I'm quite a few weeks away from past my crash, so I've kind of gotten over the sketchy feeling, and I still kind of got my nerve back. Was able to stick my nose up in the front. When I did Landpark, it was the week after I had crashed. I mean, not Landpark, the Cal Aggie version of this race. I had just crashed the week prior, so I was really sketched out. And riding like this in a group would have just gave me PTSD. But I'm definitely over it now. As you can see, it's getting a little hairy up there. There's Dean LeBurge with his national championship stripes. It's Mike Charlton right there in front of me. It's a good racer from Red Peloton. So I'm gonna move right up to the front here. Get behind Richard. It's Richard Gable. There's Mark Tucker in his favorite place on the front with Paul Boursier just right on his wheel. If you watch Mark's video, you see a green jersey always on Mark's wheel. There's Mike Sayers, Chris Baker. Those guys are both really good riders from the Touchstone team. So I got kind of pushed back a little bit here. And no, I think this is bell lap. Because I remember my position right here. Yeah. You'll probably see Mike Sayers move. You'll see everybody swerve to the left here. Yep, there it is right there. So he swerved hard left and everybody kind of had to check their brakes. Didn't really affect me. But I'm still I'm way too far back. So I'm trying to sprint, but I can't tell what these guys are going to do. I got a guy on my right, I got a guy on my left. And I'm just looking for a hole to pop through. So then I decide to go on the left-hand side. But then everybody kind of moves left to go to the left-hand curve. So then I have to go around to the right. And I finally got an opening where I can start sprinting. But by then it was too late. But I ended up getting 5th place. And you can see the Brian Cortez on the left. He just kind of went flying by everybody. So Mike Sayers won the 50 or the 40 plus, and Brian won the 30 plus.